All right, guys, getting straight into the top 5 news stories of the day. Protests erupted across the country yesterday after a grand jury in New York decided not to indict the officers involved in the death of Eric Garner. Now, protesters could often be heard chanting the slogan, "I can't breathe." Garner died back in July after officers took him down using a chokehold method while trying to arrest him for selling untaxed cigarettes. Garner's family, including his wife, spoke out shortly after the verdict.
When he was screaming 11 times that he can't breathe. So there's nothing that him or his prayers or anything else would make me feel any different.
Such powerful words. Well, his wife there, referring to one of the officers who publicly expressed his remorse for Garner's death after the news of no indictment came out. All right, moving on. Attorney General Eric Holder spoke out shortly after the decision was announced, saying that the Justice Department will begin a federal civil rights investigation into Eric Garner's death. Holder and the president also spoke about how the trust between law enforcement and communities needs to be repaired. And in Missouri, Michael Brown's stepfather is apologizing for the angry comments he made following a grand jury decision not to indict former officer Darren Wilson for the shooting death of his stepson. Police are investigating whether his comments had anything to do with the looting and riots in Ferguson that followed the decision. And in other news, new stats set to be released today show that the number of sexual assaults in the military rose in the last year. Now, it's up about 8% from last year. While this definitely needs some work, officials say the numbers also suggest that people are reporting unwanted sexual contact more, meaning that their trust in the military's ability to prosecute these cases is increasing. In 2013, following a string of high-profile cases, Congress passed legislation that changed some of the ways the military reviews sexual assault cases. And last in your top 5 headlines, 2014 is on track to set a record to be one of, if not the hottest year on record. A UN agency report says the hot year is what happens in a changing climate, also including all the crazy weather we saw this year, from torrential rains to deadly flooding. But experts say what's really alarming are the temps in the world's oceans. So if the rest of this year plays out as expected, then 2014 will be the hottest on record. Jess, you are the weather master, so of course you know a whole lot about this topic.
2 words, global warming.
Yeah.
I mean, back
Climate
in the 1930s, one of the hotter
Mm-hmm.
years, and I think 1998, and now 2014. Kind of scary.
Yeah,
Definitely.
For sure.